Go. All right, welcome everybody. I'm glad that you're here. My name is Ryan Chapman, and I am a Beachbody coach, and you're here to learn about Beachbody coaching. And so what I would like to do during this presentation is just kind of give you an overview of what Beachbody is about. I've got Kent and Becky on the line. I don't know if you guys can see them there. Kent and Becky, hi. They're going to give a little story about what they're doing with Beachbody. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've done with Beachbody, and then I'm going to show you the whole presentation of how Beachbody works, and we're going to try to keep it pretty short. So that means I need to stop, introing and actually get into it. And I'll keep it in the 30 to 45 minute range, just so you know where we're going. Okay. So first of all, I just want to tell you a little bit about how I got into Team Beachbody and what I love about it, and just the basics of what it's about. And then we're going to move over to Kent and Becky, let them tell their story a little bit, and then I'll tell you the details. So I'll start back with my weight loss journey. I grew up as a kid who was always overweight. I mean, 50, 60, 70 pounds overweight basically throughout my life. When I graduated college in 2003 as a mechanical engineer from Montana State University, I was about 90 pounds overweight. And then I gained another 10 pounds when I first got my first job, because then I had money too. So I had bad nutrition habits, not very good fitness habits, and I had the money to now pay for the Mountain Dew and the beer and the Doritos and the whatever else I was eating at the time. And so I bought that stuff and I gained another 10 pounds. And I went on a ski trip with my family, and some friends met me up there. And it was like that extra 10, 15 pounds or so that I gained after I left college kind of put me like over the top, where any athletic skill that I had could not overcome that weight anymore. And I had the worst time on the mountain just trying to ski with my friends. And I knew it was like, I had lost 15, 20, 30, 40, even 50 pounds at different times in my life. I remember losing 35 pounds when I was 12 years old. I was on a diet when I was 12 years old. So I didn't grow up fit. I didn't grow up all athletic and everything. I had good athleticism, but I was always overweight. So after that ski trip, my dad and I decided that we were going to do something about it. We were going to send our nutrition logs back and forth, say what we were eating. I went on a 1,500 calorie diet, and I lost a whole bunch of weight, ended up losing a total of 100 pounds. And I was doing most of that through calorie restriction and doing a lot of racquetball. I played a ton of racquetball, got really good at racquetball, started playing tournaments and A-level racquetball stuff, and just loved racquetball. So I lost about 100 pounds, and that was all great. None of that was with Beachbody, okay? At the end of that 100 pounds of weight loss, I did my first triathlon kind of on a dare from a friend who was doing a bit of a weight loss contest with me somewhere in the middle of that weight loss. And when I crossed the line of the first triathlon, it was kind of like, they call it the Church of Triathlon. It was like, I love this. I want to keep doing this, right? And so I did a sprint triathlon in 2005. I did an Olympic triathlon in 2006. I did my first half Ironman in 2008. I just kept going down that road. Like, it was all about triathlon. Still no Beachbody really in the equation. It was just, I was into fitness. I had started learning some things about nutrition. Mostly I was still into calorie restriction, basically, as the only way I knew how to lose weight. So I do a lot of eat a lot when I was training, sometimes gain weight after I finished doing a triathlon because I'd keep eating a lot but not training. And then I'd go on a calorie restriction diet and lose it. And I just did this for years and years. 2009, my wife and I had twin girls. And the half Ironman I did in 2008, and then I did one in 2009 too, requires, 2-hour bike rides, hour-and-a-half runs, sometimes longer bike rides, 3 hours, 4 hours. And that does not fly when you have newborn twins in the house. You can't go out on a 3-hour bike ride and leave your wife alone with newborn twins, in the first couple weeks or the first year or so. So I had to figure out something else to do to keep up with my fitness. And I had remembered seeing an infomercial for this really hard workout program where this military style guy named Tony Horton would, kick your butt 6 days a week. And I couldn't remember the name of it even. So I went on Google and just Googled some things until I figured out that it was P90X. And so I bought my first copy of P90X in 2009, shortly after the kids were born. And I did a round of P90X. And what happened was the results I got from P90X were so awesome from the core standpoint. Like my core was so much stronger, and just the strength that I got from it and the plyometrics and everything, that my running got faster without me even, I was only running once a week during P90X, just on Saturdays, and my running got faster. So I started incorporating it into triathlon. I started using P90X, and I met a guy online on the P90X page named Dave Ward, who is my upline coach with Beachbody, and he said, hey, you should become a coach. And I looked into it and I said, wow, that actually seems like something I could do. And so I jumped into Beachbody coaching, and 2 years after I started Beachbody coaching, I quit my engineering job and am now a full-time Beachbody coach. So there's a lot of things that happen in between all of that. I started out with small goals, and I made a little bit of extra income on the side while being an engineer. I wanted a new triathlon bike, and I made a deal with my wife, and I said, if I can pay for the whole triathlon bike with my Beachbody income, I can buy a new triathlon bike, right? And she was like, yeah, sure. And so in late 2010, I started saving for that. It only took me like 3 months working hard at it to pay for a $5,000 triathlon bike. And so I thought, wow, if I can do that, if I just put in an hour to 2 hours a day, what else can I do? And at the same time, we were both going to engineering jobs, leaving our kids at home with someone else to take care of them, which was their grandmother, which is great. It was family taking care of them. It wasn't dropping them off at daycare, which, I really didn't want to do. But it still wasn't us taking care of them. And that meant something to me. That was special to me, that it was us taking care of them. And so I realized, if I can make $5,000 with a couple hours a day, what could I do if I pushed harder with this? What could I do if I stayed up a little later? What could I do if I got up a little earlier? What could I do with this opportunity? Because I was also helping people. And so I did. I pushed harder for the year of 2011 and early 2012. And I was able to make it a reality to quit my job. So you can see that for me, it was anything in between, the goal of buying a new bike to all the way to quitting my job. So this opportunity for some people is a couple $100 extra a month. For some people, it's extra $1,000 a month. For some people, it's a full-time job, and sometimes it's incremental. It starts at a couple $100 extra a month or $500 a month, and it moves to, I could get rid of my boss, right? And so that's how it went for me. I went from engineer to full-time Beachbody coach in about 2 years, and now I've been a coach for 6 years, and I make a solid 6-figure income. Have a great team of people who I work with. A lot of them being triathletes and runners, some of them not, a whole group of all different kinds of people that I work with. And so I want to introduce you to a couple of those people now and let them tell a little bit about what they do and why they got into Team Beachbody coaching. And so this is Kent and Becky Bowden. Are you guys unmuted now?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So why don't you start off telling people, a little regular background, like what you do for a living and how many kids you got and all that kind of stuff.
All right. So we have, regular background. We've been married now for 16 years. We have 5 children. They range from 14, he'll be 15 at Christmas time, all the way down to 1-year-old. She just turned 1 in June. So we have 25 years of K through 12, and then the college on top of that. I work in Cadillac as a surgeon here in town, and my general surgeon, and my wife is a stay-at-home mom and my hero.
Awesome. Do you want to add anything to that, Becky?
Well, not really.
No, that's the general background, right? Okay. All right. So you're married, got 5 kids, you work as a surgeon, you're the stay-at-home mom. How did you meet the whole Beachbody? How'd you get into the Beachbody thing? What brought you in? And then why did you say yes to that?
Well, that started with me. Actually, we did not know you, Ryan, but we were also into tries, and Kent was training for an Olympic try, and I was training for my first sprint try.
Mm-hmm.
And we realized that was really hard on our family life and on our marriage. because we had to take turns going to the pool and take turns going for a run because the other one of us had to watch the kids. So then some good friends of ours introduced us to Insanity, and we were like, hey, we do this, maybe we should try this. And we were like, yeah, you know what? It's to the point where we're ready to try something different. And so we did Insanity together, and that was kind of the kickoff for us. And in the promo videos, they're always talking about Shakeology. And at that time, I was on all kinds of like GNC supplements. And so I'm like, that sounds good. And so I decided to try Shakeology. And
you were also on other medications too. You were on reflux and allergy. And
I don't know if you want me to talk about that, but
sure. Whatever the story is. I mean, if it's part of the story, for sure.
Well, recently I've been able to quit like 4 or 5 medications that I've depended on for a long time because of changing my lifestyle and drinking Shakeology.
Well, see, now normally I would tell you to consult your doctor, but he's sitting behind you.
I had to take acid reflux medication, and I had to take allergy medication, and I was taking probiotics and multivitamins and iron. I had low iron, and I don't have to take any of that anymore. So yeah, but a lot of that has to do with clean eating, but Shakeology was kind of the catapult for that for me. So anyway, that's kind of where we started. And then Brooks Lucas is a good friend of Kent's, and he is my coach. And one day he was like, hey, I think I'm going to do this Beachbody thing. And I was like, okay, that sounds cool. I'm kind of thinking about that too. And then like a month later or 2 months later, he's like, hey, you should coach. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And I was mostly doing it for the discount at the time. I just wanted the discount for the Shakeology. But then we started trying different workouts together, and it kind of became this morning routine for us where it was kind of like our date in the morning because his hours are crazy. He works long days, he works weekends, he works nights sometimes, and the kids are always in sporting events, and so our nights are always just unpredictable.
Right.
But we know we have mornings together, so we started doing it in the morning, and that's kind of how we got into it. And then it just felt like a natural thing to want to share it with people because I loved it so much. I just wanted to share it with my friends, and it just kind of has evolved from there.
Right. So now you've built a Diamond Coach Business Center from just sharing it with other people and saying, hey, telling this story basically, right? My husband and I were having to split time going to the pool, having to do this to try to get our fitness in. We found this thing. Now we do our fitness together. It's like a date. We drink this Shakeology. I've quit these meds. Do you want to try it too? Basically, that's what you do now, right?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you're getting fit yourself. You're getting to quit medications, maybe consult your doctor. But, you're getting all these health benefits yourself, and then you share that with someone else and say, hey, you could get these health benefits too. Put them in a challenge group or put them on the Challenge Tracker app or whatever. Support each other. Say, hey, let's do this together, and they get those benefits too, and you get paid, right? I mean, so.
Her business has grown very organically. It has been something that it takes effort, but the reason why it's grown is because people see her and they see her passion and they see the change and they say, there's something about her and I want to know what it is. And so they ask and they follow, and it's just by lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And that's really where the growth has come. There are some things you can do in life where you're constantly pushing, and the harder you push, the more people resist. But if you just live your life and you go into something you believe in, which is what we've done, mm-hmm. then people want to join you if they think you're successful in it.
Exactly.
And that was the draw to pursue it for me, was that Beachbody never presses you to sell. And I don't ever feel like I have to sell anything. People are coming to me. I'm not going to them. And so that's what makes us different. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is a good point. There is something different about sharing versus selling, right?
Yeah.
And yes, there's a sale that happens. Yes, there's a sale that happens. And there are things that about sales, about good sales that you could learn for this business that are super helpful. But it's not the type of business where someone walks in your front door of your retail shop and your goal is to try to talk them into something in the store. It's so different than that. It's living the lifestyle yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And other people are like, I want what you're getting. I want what you have. How do I get it? And then you're the support piece that helps them get it, right? Because the fitness products are out there. The CrossFit gyms are out there. The regular gyms are out there. There's other workout DVDs besides Beachbody, not very popular ones, I don't think, that are quite as popular as what Beachbody has, but there certainly are other workout DVDs. There's Daily Burn, and there's another, like Hulu has like a fitness thing too that you can do on-demand fitness stuff, all that kind of stuff. But there's something different about Beachbody, and that's us. That's the Coach Network, right? That says, hey, I'm going to do this with you. Hey, I'm going to put you in this group and we're all going to support each other. And you actually contact, like I know you probably contact the people that are working with you and say, how's it going, right? And you don't get that from Daily Burn, and you don't get that from, the regular gym, right? You have to show up on your own, which is great. So that's some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about when I talk about the whole opportunity here in just a second. But is there anything else that you guys want to add for people that might be watching? Because everybody that's watching this is thinking, is this for me or is it not for me? And I know for me, I don't want anybody to join because we talked them into it. I want people to join because they look at what we're doing and they say, that's for me. That's cool. So, any other things that you want to add in, why you felt it was for you or whatever? Any thoughts for the people?
I do. I think a huge part of why I continue to do it is the accountability that I get by being connected to these people. Mm-hmm. And by running a challenge group, it gives me just as much accountability as I would give them. It's a very mutual relationship there. And the thing that I love about Beachbody, the company, is that our CEO is not giving us advice on how to get sales. He's not telling us how to rank advance. He's telling us how to help people. And he always emphasizes that our job is to help and not, our goal is to not make money, where a lot of MLM businesses are geared toward that. And I love that. I love that all the people behind the company are genuinely interested in helping people and not just making money. And it feels like a family that way.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's exactly what it is for me too. I mean, she's reached diamond by doing the hard work and being the person kind of out there. I was going to say the exact same thing. Accountability. You can go into any of those other areas that you mentioned, but the accountability isn't there unless there's, hey, I'm going to bring my buddy and we're going to go to the gym together. Or, the guy that I always see there is going to wonder where I am if I'm not there at the gym. This type of an issue brings accountability. Now, with what I do, I mean, I've been a discount coach now for the last 4 years, however long we've been doing it. But, I mean, at this point, I've kind of stood in the sidelines for a long time cheering, and I went to Summit this year, and that's where it kind of opened my eyes. I'm all about health and fitness. I mean, with what I do for a living, I promote health 29 hours a day, and so this is something that goes like a hand into a glove with what I do. So, and again, patients need cheerleaders. With what I do in a surgery, your success is going to be better if you're in better health. Over years and years and years, there's never been a research study that has shown anything to be more effective than diet and exercise for getting your health on track. Nothing is more important to you than diet and exercise, which is what goes hand in hand with
Right.
this. So for me, that's what it's about.
Awesome. I love it. So much of this goes right into what I'm going to talk about here in a second about the whole opportunity. In fact, we've kind of taken away part of my presentation on it. So, because we already talked about it, but that's cool. So I can go through it faster. So I want to move on to that though, because I don't want people to be here too long. We've been here about 25 minutes or so. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring up a PowerPoint. I promise it won't be too engineering-like, even though I am an engineer. And we'll talk about the opportunity so that those of you that are watching know how do you get started if you do want to get started, and what are some more of the detail stuff. Because we've told you the stories of how I got into it and what I like about it. Kent and Becky have shared their story, what they like about it, what they love about the company. Let's just talk a little bit about the details, and then we're going to open it up for questions if there are any questions. I don't know if there's anybody on here live that is going to have any questions, but if there is, we'll wait for that. And then you guys can make your decision, and you can decide whether you want to join us in this or not. Okay, so thank you, Kent and Becky, for coming on here and giving your story. And let me go ahead and see if I can share my screen here. Share screen. That is not it. Okay, so Kent and Becky, can you just give me a thumbs up that you can see a PowerPoint presentation? It says Team Rhino, Team Beachbody. Okay, excellent. Okay, so first of all, I just want to talk about, our opportunity with Beachbody. First of all, it's a cause marketing opportunity, which we've already talked about a little bit. And all cause marketing means is that it's not just about selling products. There's actually a social problem or some type of problem that we're trying to combat. So for us, it's the obesity epidemic, right? So we are selling products. It is a for-profit business, but it's for-profit and solving a social issue. So if you think about like a charity is a cause, right, that is trying to solve a social issue or some type of issue, but it doesn't make profit. We're like that in that we are trying to solve an issue, but we're a for-profit business, right? So I love that about it, that it's not just like luxury items or, things that you can buy. This is actually trying to solve a huge social problem. And we're having breakthrough success with it. We're doing amazing work, and we need help to actually meet the demand of what we're trying to do. I actually talked to somebody today, and they had talked to somebody. One of my coaches had talked to somebody who said, I feel like I know a couple of Beachbody coaches, and so I wonder if there's just not enough room in Beachbody coaching for me because there's already too many Beachbody coaches. And the response that I usually have to that is, a good buddy of mine does a thing when he walks into it, when he's giving a talk in a huge room about this opportunity. And I was there one time when he did this in a room of about 375 people. And he said, okay, everybody in this room right now, 375 people, how many of you are real estate agents? And there was 2 real estate agents and 375 people. He said, now how many of the 375 people in here need to buy or sell a piece of property and need a real estate agent? And we'll even include refis, which doesn't necessarily need a real estate agent, but let's include that. How many of you need to do that in the next 6 months? And there were 7 people in the room that raised their hand. And he said, now if you were the 2 real estate agents and there's 7 people among 375 people, first of all, how would you find them if you were networking at that event? And second of all, there's only 7 people to split between 2 real estate agents. It's not a very good, ratio. Now, how many people in here have health, fitness goals, want to lose weight, want to feel better, want to look better, whatever, health and fitness? How many of you? And, it's going to be 75% of the room, if not more, is going to say, yes, I have health and fitness goals. Now, they may not want to do it with Beachbody, but you have a much better chance with that than you do as a real estate agent or something like that. And so we actually need help to meet the demand, because everybody you see around you, if you walk through the grocery store, like there's 80 people in the grocery store, 70 of them need your help. Like seriously, we need help to do this. We can't meet that kind of demand. Okay, so the huge social problem, of course, is obesity. It's a growing epidemic. It's like 2/3 of adults. It's a 1/5 of kids. You probably see this all around, right? The fast food epidemic, basically, people eating poorly and a lot of people overweight. This is from 2010. The dark orange states, there's 13 of them, I think, that have a BMI greater than or equal to 30 greater than or equal to 30% of the population has a BMI greater than or equal to 30 pounds overweight for 5'4" person. So it's like, it's mind-blowing. I think it's actually worse now because there's a new census out since this one, but they changed the way they do the numbers. So I can't like relate it to this one, but it's obviously the obesity epidemic is huge. And we're the ones out there trying to end that trend of obesity. We've got pictures like this galore of people who are doing this. Kent and Becky probably have some people in their challenge groups who have pictures just like this where they've lost 30, 40, 50 pounds, right? Okay, so we talked about with Kent and Becky about how the company is all about helping people. So really quickly, the way Beachbody started, I think, helps people understand that. In 1998, when Carl Deichler and John Congdon founded the company, their mission was, and still is, help people achieve their goals and enjoy a healthy, fulfilling life. And the way they started that was with infomercials. So you've probably seen Beachbody infomercials, P90X, and that's all they did in 1998, all the way up till the Coach Network started in 2007. Okay, so before Team Beachbody, you had Power 90, Slim and 6, P90X came out in 2004, you had Turbo Jam, and then Beachbody launched in 2007. What they found with the infomercial thing is that they could sell an exercise program on an infomercial, they could sell a nutrition product on an infomercial. Both of those worked, but they couldn't provide personal support, which is what we talked about with Kent and Becky, is that the support piece is what we really provide. So what happened was in 2004 when P90X launched, it was their biggest infomercial ever. They had never done more sales than that. It was crazy. Everybody's buying this thing. Finally, somebody was saying, it's not going to be 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week. It's going to be 6 days a week, and we're going to kick your butt. It's not going to be easy. And everybody's like, I want that. I want that. Give me that. And they did a survey, and 55% of the people who bought P90X in their survey had not opened the box. Not even like had tried it and said, oh, this is too hard. Like 55% had not even opened the box. They bought it at 2 a.m., hadn't opened the box. So they said, okay, we've got to do something different here. We have to do something that is actually going to get these people the results to actually open the box, right? So the first thing they did is they created some forums in their website where people could go and get support. And the people who had got results got on the forums and they gave them a moderator role that they called coach, right? And so as people who had like won money because they had sent in their before and after results and they had gotten results, they got on there and they were coaches and they weren't getting paid any money. And they realized that it had become a community and people had started to get support there and they had started to go there for accountability and people were helping people. And they said, there's something to this. We need to take this and expand it across the country. We need to make this big. And so they started the Coach Network in 2007, and that's what we do. We're like a huge version of the forums where there were coaches helping people. We've created community everywhere, right? And so that's really the piece that we get paid for, is to create the community. We create communities all over the country that help people actually get results. So we're not like a portal. Don't think of yourself as a portal where people can buy products. You're a place where they can find community and support. Okay, that's what we really do. So after they launched the Coach Network, this is some of the stuff that has come out since they launched the Coach Network. And I could actually update this slide to show you at least 3 more full workout programs that have come out: Size, Country Heat, and I'm missing one that came out last year. 22-minute hardcore, 22-minute hardcore. They're giving me the, we're doing sign language here. Okay, so 22-minute hardcore and Size and Country Heat, and there's probably even more that have come out since then. Okay, so the company is constantly creating new programs. So what makes Team Beachbody unique? We've already touched on this, so I'm gonna go pretty quick. Okay, there's 4 pieces to the success equation for people to actually get results. The first is fitness, right? You gotta have fitness. You got to actually move to get healthy, right? So we've got all that, right? We've got a program for everybody, T25 and P90X3 and PIO, and you can lift weights and get really big, and you can do yoga, and you can do all these different things. Like, we'll help you pick a program that actually works for you, right? Next piece is nutrition. Got to have good nutrition. Well, we've got Shakeology, and every workout program comes with a meal plan, including the 21-day fix, which has been huge for people to learn portion control. So we've got the nutrition piece, right? We have good fitness, we have good nutrition. We have the performance line in the nutrition too, which is now part of the Ironman brand, or I should say it is the official sports nutrition supplement of Ironman US Race Series now. And so we've got the nutrition there, right? The next piece is the piece that is really hard to get anywhere else except for where we are, and that is the peer support. That's what we do as coaches. We help Beachbody customers meet their goals. We share products with people that we care about and let them decide what they want to do and how they want to do it. We're the support piece, and we get to earn income that way. I think we've kind of already covered this piece because we've talked about it with Kent and Becky, but that's the piece that we really fit into. Beachbody creates awesome fitness programs, awesome nutrition products. We provide the support. And then the last piece is rewards. So as coaches, we get rewards like commissions, bonuses for team growth. We get trips, we get recognition, we get learning and personal development. And then we provide recognition and rewards and things like that to our customers who are in our challenge groups. So we reward them for the results that they got. And Beachbody does that too with the Beachbody Challenge and rewards them for their results as well. So all of that together, fitness plus nutrition plus peer support plus rewards equals success. You have to have all those pieces together. And I think especially the first three, fitness, nutrition, and peer support. And so that's what we do as coaches. Now, what to expect from our team specifically. We have new coach training on a website and actually even a mobile app that you can get to and do new coach training. So you know exactly, our best tips for being a coach. We do weekly team calls. We just had one last night. Every Tuesday night, we do a team call. We talk about strategies. We talk about how to connect with people, how to do social media. We talk about how to track your activity, how to get results as a coach. We do regular webinars like this. So if you're on this webinar and you're like, hey, I want to sign up as a coach, guess what? If you have somebody that you know that might want to sign up as a coach, you can send them to one of these webinars that we're going to do basically every month, and they'll get to hear the same story that you heard to decide whether they want to join or not. We do leadership mentoring. We have a Facebook team page where we connect with each other and ask questions, and then we do recognition and we have accountability with each other. So our team is pretty awesome, I would say. But of course, I'm kind of biased, but our team is pretty awesome. Okay, so you can get started risk-free. There's a 30-day guarantee on the products in the coach opportunity. So if you're like, this sounds really good, but what happens if I don't like it? You send it back. There's no front-loaded startup packages. So a lot of multi-level marketing, you're going to pay like $5,000 at the beginning to like get product, right? You're going to get a whole bunch of product. You're going to fill your garage up with shampoo, and then you're going to go try to sell it, right? And there's none of that. Like the only thing you're going to buy at the beginning is your stuff, the stuff that you're going to use. The workout program you're going to use, the Shakeology you're going to use, the performance line you're going to use, whatever. You don't have to keep stock in your garage. You're going to pay a $15.95 per month coach fee, which covers your websites and your marketing materials and all the stuff that Beachbody provides to you to be able to be a coach. You have no long-term contract. You can cancel anytime. You have essentially unlimited earning potential, the full training available. You don't have to be in perfect shape, and you don't have to have sales training. Okay, so one of my friends says this is a negative risk business. If there is such a thing as a negative risk business, this is it, right? You pay for some product that you would pay the same amount for pretty much, even if you did it as a customer, and you get the opportunity to make a whole bunch of money if you work it. That's like negative risk. You can send it back if you don't like it, right? This is an example income. So I show this just to show you that my income has steadily grown over the last few years, and I should probably update this for last year, but my income has steadily grown from the time I started really working my business in 2011 when I wanted that triathlon bike, and I started working it, and then I said, oh, wow, this could be a real good opportunity, and I could actually stay home with my kids. My income has gone up. It has steadily just grown. So, and it's a six-figure income now. Now, there's a statement on there that Beachbody doesn't guarantee that level of success for anybody. It's up to the coach and the work that you do, but it has steadily grown for me. So what are the options? If you're ready to join the team and help others achieve their health and fitness goals, you have a couple of options for getting started. The first one is almost everybody does this option. I highly recommend that you do this option. Buy a challenge pack. You save $50 to $80 on your products. You don't have to pay the initial coach enrollment fee, which is $39.95. You get a fitness program or like 90 days of our on-demand program. where you get to stream the workouts. You get your first shipment of Shakeology, or you could do the performance line if you prefer. And you get, if it's a fitness program, you get a trial month of the Team Beachbody Club subscription, which gives you that on-demand streaming, kind of like Daily Burn, right? Or like Netflix for workouts, okay? If you just join with Shakeology HD, no challenge pack, you're going to pay the price for Shakeology at 25% off plus the $39.95 coach enrollment fee. I don't recommend that. Buy a challenge pack, or you could do the fitness program by itself, but then you would have to pay the coach enrollment fee as well. Okay, so everybody does the challenge pack option just because you don't have to pay the coach enrollment fee and you get what you need to get started, but that's all you have to pay. And then you have an ongoing business service fee, the $15.95. It covers all your websites, all this stuff that Beachbody gives you, the marketing, the communications, they have training in there, all that stuff. So that's pretty much the details of how it works. You buy a challenge pack, you pay a $15.95 a month fee, you go through our training, you learn how to be a coach, and you go out and share with people. And so the question that I ask you now is what you're doing now going to get you what you want. Okay, because what I wanted was a triathlon bike at the beginning, and I wasn't going to get that without some extra money. So this was an opportunity for me to get that. And then I wasn't going to be able to quit my job without some form of other income that I could replace that with. And so this gave me that opportunity. I could not keep doing what I was doing and be able to stay home with the kids. Those two things would not work. I can't continue to be an engineer and stay home with the kids. Okay, so you only get something different by doing something different. So if there's something that you're saying, yeah, I could use a couple $100 extra a month, then this might be an opportunity for you to do something different. Okay, that's the end of that presentation. And I want to open it up for questions so that people can ask questions if they want. And Kent and Becky can help me answer those. I don't know if we have anyone on here live that's going to ask any questions. In fact, let me look at the viewers. I don't think we do right now. So I think we're going to probably end it for tonight, and we'll send out the recording of this to everybody that said they were going to the event so that they can see the recording. And I just want to thank Kent and Becky one more time for being on. And if you have any other things you want to say, feel free. Otherwise, we're all done. You got to unmute, I think. Oh, there we go.
The only one thing I would say is that, exactly like you pointed out, this is, if there's anything that could be considered a no-risk commitment, this is it. Like you already pointed out, if you're already interested in health and nutrition and being fit, you're already doing something, this can provide an avenue, accountability, and an opportunity to earn.
Absolutely.
If you want to, don't if you don't.
Exactly. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being on, and let's call it a night, and good night.